Alright guys, what's poppin'? Welcome back to another match for JOKE3 Paradigm Shift. Today we have Teezel vs Maimaing. Both played in last year's edition. I think Teezel also played in JOKE1 as well, so he's a long-time veteran. But yeah, I think they did seed pretty closely, though Maimaing did have a little bit of a questionable seeding and has picked it up a little bit since then, so this should actually be a very, very interesting match. Not too sure what it's gonna end up like, but I think we will be getting into warm-ups first, as it does seem like at least Teezel has one. And it's gonna be Journey by AR Forest. He made this as a warm-up for one of the previous tournaments. I think it was JOKE2. It's not too hard, it's probably around this week's pool in difficulty. It does seem like Teezel has a little bit better LN control than Maimaing, so not much has changed there. And that'll be it for the first warm-up. Teezel having better ratio, better AC, and better miscount. So, yeah, looking good. And the rolls come in, Teezel winning by 46 roll points. Maimaing starting with an SV ban. Unfortunate. But Teezel will strike back with a speed ban, which will get rid of those two bottom maps. And we can just focus on the upper half. Teezel starting with LN2, a very reasonable choice against Maimaing. Given that, again, I do think he has the slightly better LN control, and especially on a map like this, where the lengths will vary a lot, I think that will benefit him quite a bit. Now also, depending on how much practicing they both did, they might trip up on one of the stream patterns a bit later into the map, because it is not very simple. Okay, Teezel getting an early AC lead. I think still on the V1 SS, while Maimaing has picked up a few 200s. He just needs to make sure, Teezel just needs to make sure to keep the combo going. Because he will definitely still need that to take this point. AC is not going to be enough. Well, it will be. It won't be enough if he misses. But so far, still very strong at a high 99.7. He definitely seems like he is prepared for this. As you might expect from a first pick. Here's a little bit of a varying length LN section. It's all just 1-2 LNs, but the lengths are what make that hard. And here is probably the hardest part of the map. And they both seem to hit it without too much trouble. Teezel did drop a few 200s, so he's down at 99.4, but it's still plenty enough, and Maimaing, that miss, I think, will seal it for him. And I think Teezel will close it out with a full combo on LN2. Very nice. And also much better AC ratio. So good first pick from Teezel. With Maimaing's pick next, I'm going to assume, yeah, some form of rice is coming. So here's stream. Stream does have like 5 LNs or something, but I think they wouldn't they won't trip him up too much because they are very simple as the main focus of this map is the long, very long streams that are supposed to just make you very tired. And you can immediately see Maimaing being a lot more comfortable on this. Just judging from the unstable rate, that is just a laser in the middle. So I think, given that Maimaing is a very good Taika player, he won't have any stamina issues whatsoever with this map. He could still, I guess, key lock or find some very questionable misses, but the main issue is going to be if Teezel can keep it up. So far his stamina seems to be fine, but he did find that little misread shortly after one of those 1-6. Well, Maimaing found a 200 and is still at 99.93%. And another miss from Teezel, he's still at 99.6, but that's not enough against Maimaing, who is still going very strong with just a single 200 and an outstanding ratio. And yeah, just 37 300s. Maimaing not struggling at all when it comes to rice. But Teezel knows what to go for now, so he will just go straight for the next LN. In the hopes that it will defeat Maimaing. Though I will say this one is probably the easier of the two LNs, both in terms of hitability and hackability. It's 110 BPM or 220, depending on how you want to look at it. So you could call it something of an alt map. Oh no, Maimaing trying to hold balance for too long now. These are actually some of the few LNs that you actually shouldn't hold, that you're better off just tapping. Especially those really short ones. But yeah, this is the section where it mixes both very short and also very tight LN releases. And Teezel not having any problems at all with this, except for that triple, which was just a little too tricky. But yeah, that will be another convincing victory for Teezel. Despite the Maimaing FC, actually. But yeah, with only 1-200, the Ack was able to give him the advantage there. And going straight into Rice 3, we have Crystal Illusion, which is just another Taiko abuse map, I suppose. No LNs whatsoever in this map, I think, from what I remember. And this is probably also the closest map to Stream, other than Stream. So there are going to be some slightly longer patterns in this, but the hardest part is going to be near the end, where it just throws a lot of very tricky rhythms at you. But yeah, at the start here, Maimaing is just going to completely destroy this map. I do believe we're both still on the V1SS, but we'll have to see if they keep it through the hard part. Which is coming up right here. You just have this barrage of even and odd patterns that are very tricky to keep track of, but they both seem to have gotten through it no problem, and I think they might just both end things with a V1SS, but Maimaing's a much shinier V1SS. With just 10 300s. 8 times as many as Teezel. And Teezel only got 80. I mean, Teezel 8 times as many as Maimaing. And Teezel with an LN6! I do believe there are no more LN maps. So I guess the next best thing would be hybrid, and he does go for hybrid 3, which is a fever dream. I think probably the least tricky one to read in terms of LN. But it's also, I guess, a pretty safe one for Teezel because it doesn't really have that many choke points, if any. I think he'll definitely be able to pull something out with VLNs in this map, though. They do get a bit tricky. But I predict that Maimaing might actually come out in front in the first half. Play 200 from Maimaing, multiple, which is going to help Teezel a lot. Because there are a few rise sections in this map. And some of these LN streams are honestly not too different from pure rise streams. So Teezel needs every 200 from Maimaing he can get. And also needs to make sure he does not miss. And here are some... This is a pretty LN heavy section. And I think by this point it's going to be very taxing on the LN, so I think Teezel might have this one in the bag. Well, there are some longer streams near the outro here, but both players not struggling with them. Teezel getting even more of an advantage through those last few LNs and only getting 1-200 in the end. He actually had worse ratio than Maimaing. But yeah, those releases made Maimaing drop a bunch of 200s. And Maimaing going for Rise 2, which is the second last Rise remaining. I'm surprised he picked this one over Rise 1, because this one actually has some LNs. Okay, Maimaing getting past those long notes and obviously just maintaining a very strong ratio throughout the rest of the map. Ooh, and Teezel with a miss. Might already seal it against a player like Maimaing. And yeah, it does seem like Valens in this map are simple enough to a point where Maimaing does not struggle with them at all. I know he does drop 1-200 to those cursed Ellens. And if Teezel didn't miss and get the 200, it might have been pretty close, but unfortunate for Teezel. But it is his pick now. Now he can guarantee a tiebreaker if he does win. And there are still 2 hybrids left, I think. I'm gonna assume he won't pick Rice 1. That would be pretty silly. But both the remaining hybrids are pretty hard. So it's mainly picking between which ones he is less likely to miss on, probably. He will have to think carefully though, and he goes for hybrid 1. Because if he loses this pick and Maimaing continues a streak of very strong picks, then it might just be over for Teezel. So this is a very important pick for Teezel. Maimaing sending out the very threatening colon closing bracket. Oh, Teezel with an early miss, but Maimaing also getting like a 50 and a lot of 200s. So it kind of evens out. So the hard part here for Teezel is going to be just the pure density of attack, and for Maimaing it's going to be the releases. So this is actually, I think, going to be very even. Though Teezel does get an early lead due to some very heavy misreads from Maimaing. Maimaing actually down to 94%. This might have actually been a much better pick than Teezel would have imagined at first. And now we'll have to think about how the tiebreaker would go if they get to it, which is very likely, since the tiebreaker is It's basically a glorified hybrid map, though I think it will be a lot closer than this map, because Tiebreaker is very, very physically intensive. More than any of Various or hybrids in this map pool. So Teezel will have a better LN control, but I think Maimaing might just miss less. I don't know. I don't know if Maimaing missed in this hybrid because of the LN reading or just because of attack, but I would highly doubt it's because of attack. So I don't know. I think Tiebreaker might be very close. We'll just have to see. I am saying this like Tiebreaker is guaranteed already, but I think if you just watch Maimaing's score on this, you'll see what I mean. Teezel doing his best so far to stay above the 99.9 though. So if Maimaing does find the most random of misses, Teezel will be ready to just pounce on that opportunity. Maimaing luckily not finding any 200s on the very few long LNs in this map. And I think it's just Rise from here on out. So barring any catastrophes, it's pretty likely that Maimaing has this. Just a few triplets, and yeah, Maimaing just cruising to victory. Oh, hang on, the speed change at the end made Maimaing drop a 200, and Teezel gets the win off of that 200 from the BPM change. Which means Teezel wins the match. And that was, I guess, the catastrophe I was alluding to. I completely forgot about that BPM change. And that will mean Maimaing is knocked to losers in round of 16. Congratulations to Teezel for the win. Though I do think he would have also been pretty favored on the tiebreaker, so very, very strong performance from Teezel nonetheless. And let me see if we have any matches coming up. We have Adri versus Silly Fangirl at 17 UTC, which is going to be in a while, so we'll take a quick break. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.